What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday night, 9 p.m. with another episode with your boys reporting eligible live, man. Falcon fans, it's the optimism is being tested by 1,000, man. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have that uncomfortable conversation. We're going to touch on some things, but we will recap that Panthers loss. We will highlight the Aints game, but there's a lot of other things that we need to discuss revolving our beloved Atlanta Falcons team, man. But bro, talk. You had a very eventful weekend, and those with the benefit of flash photography had some say in your appearance. How was the trip? How was the vibes? Let us know how it went down, brother.
Man, it was fun. We flew out Saturday and, we lost an hour getting to the East Coast, but, flying to Atlanta, just getting the vibe of the city, it was awesome. Checked into the hotel, just started being a tourist. Everyone was super friendly. And, what's funny is, me and my wife had dinner in a restaurant. They had TVs everywhere, right? College football. And we were like, can we put on a specific game? And they're like, oh, yeah, for sure. What do you want? We go, Texas Tech. And they literally did this, like, Texas Tech?
Oh, damn.
Like, yeah, you're talking to a couple Texas people right here. And,
Right
they were
on.
getting ready to put on the UGA game versus Texas. Those dogs came away with the victory, unlike our Falcons. And then you go to the next day. It was like, I was hyped. I was like, we need to get to the stadium. The stadium is spectacular. Like, it looks huge on TV. It is exactly that. I was lucky enough to go to a game where they actually had the roof open, and I got to see it open. And as soon as you walk into the stadium, right, I got to see the outside, the yard, the tailgating, and the Falcon, right? The Falcon was awesome. You walk in, and it's just like, boom, in your face. You could see the stadium. You see the roof. It's open, Jumbotron, and just everyone in there. It was unreal. And, everyone said, like, you're at least going to have fun, even though, the product on the field may not be what you want it to be. And it's exactly that. Like, they know how to get fans hyped up, right? It's hard to get hyped up this season at this point, but they did a really, really good job. I got to meet some, famous Atlanta people, Yuri, Big Low. I got to meet him.
Ooh.
I got to meet DeMario. And then, I got recognized a couple times, which I thought was really cool in the in the fan shop. And then, funny enough, I'll tell you a little story before we get into these Falcons. We sit down. Me and my wife sit down. We're starting to eat. Two guys to my right sit down as well. Okay. I'm like posting pictures on Twitter, tweeting as we're going along. And the guy opens up Twitter and he sees my tweet. He goes, oh, Bro Talk's here. And he's like pointing. He's like, oh, he took the picture from over there. And my wife hears and she goes, did you say Bro Talk? And he turned to my wife. He's like, do you know him? And she goes, yeah, that's my husband right here. And he's like,
oh, yeah.
He's like, you're lying. And then she tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, yeah, that's Bro Talk. And I was like, what's up, man? And it was his game too. First game too. He flew in from Indiana with his buddy. So we both got to experience that. So overall, it was a good experience. I brought me home some souvenirs. We're waving the white flag on the 2025 season. I got to experience the swag surfing, which I thought was awesome. And then, we parted ways, but Atlanta, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much. I had a good time, even though it did not result in a Falcons victory.
Yes, man. It did not result into a Falcons victory. It was a ugly defeat to the Carolina Kitties. Keep pounding. Fucking morons. I can't stand it,
That's
man.
all I had to hear on the way out of the stadium.
Exactly. Oh, my God, man.
Pounding. Keep pounding. Like, people make fun of our Rise Up motto, but, like, keep pounding? Like, come on, bro. That's
you should have said, keep pounding, and we held you under 100 yards.
Not Bryce Young, though. Can't really say much there.
I know. Oh, man. But let me go into the chat because the chat is lit, man. We got well over 100 plus folks in here already. We certainly thank each and every one of you guys for catching up with us live now at 9 p.m. But our brother Dwayne Ruffin, he says, what's up, fellas? Unfortunately, it's time. It's that time. Rebuild. I don't know. We'll get a little bit more into that. Nikki Pitts, what's happening, Nikki? Hope all is well with you. Mr. King, what's good? Just want to say Rams by 50. And he's talking about the ass whooping that the LA Rams are finna give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Justin Swisher Sweets is in the house. Maybe a rebuild of the front office in scouting. That I tend to agree with 100.
Okay.
Yeah. Mob Dukes is in the house. Rise up, Mob, with a W. Mob, you are so optimistic, but you know the vibe. It wasn't a good one here on Sunday. We were let down, severely here, man. B Jackson, what's happening? Terry and Heem are going to get shown the door at the same time. No other way around it, but full rebuild mode, he says. What's going on? What in the sports? My guy Charles, what's happening? Nikki with the crying emoji. Mocio, what's going on? He said, "Do we chalk up the season?" Yeah, man. It's like
over, buddy. We're waving the white flag.
Yeah, exactly. Right here, man. It's crazy, man. Eric Zeldin is in the house, man. Uncle Steve is in the house. Sorry, I missed you, bro. Talk. Hope you enjoyed, man. We all know
did
Uncle
enjoy.
Steve.
I did enjoy.
Fantastic Falcons content creator. Please join Uncle Steve in the Monday Minutia and all his great lineup in Falcon content on YouTube. That's Uncle Steve's Lounge. But yes, man, this Panthers game, with heavy hearts, you were there, obviously. I'm sure that you felt the vibe. I bet the life was sucked out of most of that fan base, our fan base, when number 9 went down the way that he did. Just describe to us what the overall feeling was when that happened, man.
Man, when it happened, we saw that 7-man pressure, and it was like, oh dang, like the Panthers got us. They sent one extra. We weren't ready for it. But when I saw his helmet roll and he wasn't getting up, I was like, oh no. Oh no. Initially, we thought it was his right knee, right? The one that's been reconstructed several times, and he was limping, and he went into the blue tent. I was right by the blue tent. And I wasn't even paying attention to the game after that. I was just like eyes on the blue tent. And the stadium kind of it went dead silent. It went dead silent. And after he came out of the tent, he sat down on the bench with the towel on his head. Coach Heem came up to him.
Hell yeah, Nikki.
Talked to him. And then you just saw Kirk throw on the helmet and start warming up his arm. And it was just like, at that point, people weren't like, oh my gosh, Kirk's coming in. It was, hey, Kirk, lead us to victory. Like, take us to victory. And, it didn't end that way. But yeah, when he went down, everyone just gasped and like the life, like you could feel a breeze the whole game because the stadium was open, the roof. And it was like the air, the ominous feeling where the air just stops.
Yeah.
Like the air is just sucked out. That's exactly what happened.
Wow, man. An unfortunate injury to a rising superstar in the league. And I'll say it, man. A lot of people might not agree with it, but I think Pitts, was a rising star in this league. And I think he continued that once he comes back and he makes a full recovery.
Penix.
Especially now. Penix, sorry. I might have said something. Pitts, I'm sorry. Penix. Yeah, my mind's all flustered. Woo! Wrong unicorn. Anyways, but yeah, man, it was troubling to see him down the way that he went down. In the fashion that he went down. He's not, he's no stranger to the knee injuries and stuff like that. And now what makes it even worse is the length of time that he will be out. And it's been revealed that it is a partial ACL tear that is going to have reconstructive knee surgery, which the timeline couldn't have come at a worser time because where we are now unequivocally puts him, past week 1 and on a PUP and further along, which we don't know what the recovery time is going to look like for Penix, man. So I ask you this, brother. Are we bracing ourselves for a small rebuild in Atlanta? Are we looking at another Band-Aid at the quarterback position until Penix is ready to make his comeback?
Well, the thing with these types of injuries, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, all those guys said 9 months. That's optimistically thinking. That's if he doesn't have any setbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about earlier in the season on how he needs to work on his mechanics in the offseason. He's gonna miss all of that in the offseason.
That's the disheartening part.
He's gonna miss all of mini camp. He's gonna miss all of training camp. So for you to expect him to start the beginning of the year and just take off the ground running, it's not realistic. And that's not the type of pressure you want to put on the young man. As far as rebuild goes, really and truly, like the plan that Raheem and Terry had come up together with the quarterback, right? We got to fix the quarterback position. It just didn't work. And, unfortunately for Penix, right, you can't predict injuries, right? A lot of people are like, oh, he was injured a lot in college. Those things happen. Injuries in football happen. And and their 2-year plan for the quarterback position, it blew up in their face. And so does Arthur Blank have the patience of doing this all over again, right? Blowing it up and starting over and allowing really, truly, Penix won't be his normal self realistically until 2027. Like 2026, he could come in the middle of the year, but what good does that do him, right? Yeah. He's going to be shaky. He's going to be antsy, right? Is my knee fully good? I haven't gotten reps. Like, it's not going to be good. And if you really want to truly establish, quote unquote, a culture of winning at this point, right? We've said Terry's done good things, but he's done bad things. We've said Raheem had a plan. It just didn't come to fruition. It's boop, hit that reset button, brother.
Hit that reset. And it couldn't happen at a worse time yet again. You know what I mean? This is a common thing.
It just happens to us, right?
It just always happens to us, man. Already as it is, we've been 8 years in the red, man. It's just no good fortune has happened for the Falcons other than, hitting on guys like Bijan and Drake London and Matthew Bergeron and these guys that we brought in, the new Falcons, right? Because obviously in those respected years, we've come up short, has landed us into the top tier of the NFL draft, in which we were well on our way into that metric this year, but unfortunately we do not have our first round pick. But given these factors, right, with the injuries and whatnot, does this buy Raheem an extra year with the Falcons due to everything that's been going on?
I would be shocked if it did at this point. We talked about it, right? If Penix didn't get injured and you saw some flashes, right? And the Falcons happen to finish 7-10 again, or 8-9 or 9-8, right? Let's just say something like that. Miss the playoffs. He could use that to his advantage and say, hey, you know what? Zach's leaving. We weren't clicking on all cylinders. Look what Jeff's done with the defense. Sure, it's improved slightly, but we fixed the pass rush problem. We've done certain things. I can do the same thing with bringing in an established coordinator or an up-and-coming coordinator that I have confidence in, right? Kind of hang your hat on that one. Now, when you're probably, I don't see more than 5 wins now. I don't see us winning all but 2 more games this season. You've got the Rams, brother. You got the Bucks again. You got the Seahawks, even the Cardinals, right? And then even I don't feel confident at all playing against the Aints in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. So then Arthur Blank's like, well, they told me we were in win mode now, which we did have the pieces, right? Yep. So we did trade that first rounder this year, which I was told, the plan was to pick towards the end of the first round, which we all believed, right? But now it looks like that pick could be a top 7, top 5 pick. And you can't pick one of the best players in this draft. Now, do we all love what JPJ is developing into? I think so.
I think so too.
But, right, the argument is always going to be, could you have gotten Arvell Reese? Could you have gotten
Ruben Blaine,
right? Yep. Like other edge rushers that could do what JPJ is doing now, but maybe in a different type of body. It's hard to think about, because if they do hit a full reset, now what does it look for Jalen Walker? What does it look for JPJ? What does it look for Billy Bowman? What does it look for Xavier Watts? Zach Harrison now on his fourth defensive coordinator. Rook, Brandon on their third defensive. This isn't good for young players who have shown that they can be good players. So it's unfortunate, right? Because we're gonna hear it all season, all off season, until we get through April, right? Yeah. So that's why it's if we do blow up the button, Arthur Blank needs to understand 2026, don't go in with expectations of winning.
Yeah.
Really and truly, unless they bring a young, bright offensive mind or an established offensive mind, you get that bridge quarterback, everyone's throwing Mac Jones out. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to be a free agent, but I think he's earned himself some money. You know, there could be potential cap casualties, right? What if Kyler Murray's cut? I don't want Kyler Murray, but what if they bring Kyler Murray in? Jacoby Brissett, what if he's a free agent? Like, so many different pieces. So you could potentially win, but you could also potentially do what the Falcons did in 2007, where you're picking third overall, which may benefit us because we may end up taking another quarterback, and now you've got competition between Michael Penix and that said quarterback.
Yeah, well, you can also have the Matt Schaub situation where you can trade, the backup for a premium pick, as the Falcons did in that year too. So it's a gamble, but it's something that we have to wait and see. And like, much is being said around the league now, second round picks are just as good as.
That's my brother, guys.
Is it?
That's my brother.
Oh man, that's crazy. Thanks for tuning in, Bro Talk. Bro Talk's brother Chris. That's crazy, man. But yeah, man. Even as it's being said around the league, like second round picks, they're just as good as first round picks. And the way that we're trending into that, top tier of being one of the first teams picking in the second round. So we'll be able to land premium talent, whether the Falcons elect to go wide receiver or offensive tackle, something to that regard. The Falcons will still land in elite talent, just not in the first round. To your point, though, guys like JPJ, they're panning out. They're going to work. My other question is, though, for you, Bro Talk, and be as unhinged as you possibly can in this one, right? We get a new regime in, but are they tied to Michael Penix? Will that regime be tied to Michael Penix? Do you think that regime will be allowed the flexibility or the freedom to just make the organizational decision to say, yeah, from afar, he's great. He's just not a fit for what our vision is. We're going this route. What do you say to that?
You have to expect it. You have to expect it, because when a head coach comes in, the first thing they're doing is they're hanging their hat on their quarterback. That's something Dan Campbell did in Detroit when they traded for Jared Goff. Like, they were like, we need to dump Stafford's contract, but we want to get a young guy that we feel like would fit the mold. And that's what they went with Jared Goff, right? Kevin O'Connell is going through that with JJ McCarthy, Mike Vrabel, who didn't draft him, but he's tied to Drake May. Like, these types of things. So a new regime could come in and be like, look, we're going to give Mike an opportunity to compete. But if we decide to go a different direction, don't be surprised, right? That doesn't, that could, the hard conversations start happening. Does Michael get traded? Does Michael just remain the backup? Who knows? But if a new regime comes in, we have to expect them to want to get a quarterback. And if we're picking in the top 5 in 2027, you can expect that regime to take said quarterback.
Yeah, man, that's that. Hey, listen, when Terry came in, he had to make the hard decisions. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and so the regime that's coming in, if the Falcons do elect to go that route, which I feel like is going to happen, Black Friday in the NFL, or at least for the Atlanta Falcons, is going to be every bit of black, because I feel like they will be cleaning house, especially if our record, especially with the losing record that we're going to have, man. I just don't have that much optimism left in me to say that the Falcons will even be at 500 or even scratching close to 500. So we're gonna leave it at that, man. But to anything else going on for the Falcons, obviously with Raheem possibly being gone, now the candidates start coming, the names start popping up, and obviously with Raheem, obviously Terry Fontenot is tied to that, so we might be looking for a package deal yet again in 2026. Have you come across any names that might be interesting you in the right now as a clear vision path or a clear path for the Falcons in 2026? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? Or what do you feel as far as names coming to Atlanta at this point?
So GM wise, I haven't dug too deeply into. My first thought is always look at rosters that are consistently constructed very well. Right?
Thank you.
Detroit, as much as people don't like to say, are kind of steered away from this team now. LA, right? That front office always seems to find a way to build and find talent, especially day 2, day 3. Hold on. I think I know where you're going.
Oh, you know
where you're going, right? Kansas City, Philadelphia.
Yep.
Hell, even Dallas, right? Dallas drafts really well. Will McClay actually is one that strikes my fancy. I think he's the director of the scouts, or I think that's his position. He strikes my fancy. Baltimore, right? Someone under DeCosta, right? DeCosta, that's his name.
DeCosta, Eric DeCosta.
So someone like those types of franchises is where you want to pluck from. And I really truly think that Terry was plucked from New Orleans because of their management of the cap, right? Arthur Blank knew where we were headed with Matt Ryan's contract, Julio's contract. Excuse me. So that's why primarily he was brought in, right? Remember, we talked about it. Terry wasn't a draft scout. He was a free agent scout.
Exactly.
And that's why he's been so good at bringing in free agents.
100%. 100%.
What do you got? You were chopping at the bit. What you got?
No. So there is one name tied to that Rams organization that just gives the shivers to us Falcon fans. That's Rich McKay's son, John McKay. We don't want that. Want that. Yes, we do not want that. But fuera. Absolutely, man. We're multilingual here, by the way. Puerto Rico, Mexico. Just so you know, SAP button, hit it. But yeah, man. Yeah, so you look, like you mentioned, to the stable organizations. And right now, the Kansas City Chiefs have shown that they're a stable organization. They have a young man by the name of Chris Shea, who has worked under what's their GM? Jesus, I can't remember his name.
Who?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Brett Veach.
Brett Veach, right. So Chris Shea has been the understudy or the assistant general manager to Brett Veach the past, I think, 6 or 7 years. Then you got Ray Agnew, who's been working with Brad Holmes in Detroit. And Ray Agnew has been a pivotal part or a piece to the rebuild that has been the Detroit Lions for the past 5 years. Scouted guys like Penei Sewell, Jameis Williamson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's had a hand in acquiring that talent or bringing that talent to the forefront. And then Ed Dodds out of the Indianapolis Colts. Ed Dodd is a guy that gets named quite, frankly, on a year-to-year basis. But I think Ed is just waiting for the correct opportunity to strike. Now, Ed Dodd, has done a good job, bringing in free agents, building that roster for the Colts. He's mostly known for his work in the early 2000s with the Legion of Boom or the Seattle Seahawks, scouting all of those guys. He worked through the ranks with Seattle as a pro scout and a national scout. Ed Dodd is one of the guys that, saw guys like Richard Sherman and Cliff Averill and all of these guys that made up that fantastic Seahawks team. So that's what we're looking at. That's a short list that I have, but you have faces galore. What are you seeing? What's going on?
Bro,
what do you got?
I never expected to think about this, right? You brought up McKay's son at the Rams. Who the hell did we trade with in the first round?
The Rams.
Hello.
Yeah.
Golly,
just to make matters worse, right?
Golly. So one thing I will say, you guys know Ari from the 33rd team?
Yes. Ari, yeah, Ari.
He stays pretty plugged in, right? He's got some sources in the league. And he's catching whispers that Arthur Blank may be stripping this thing down to the studs, which would mean Rich McKay. Like, this is the first time we've ever heard Rich McKay probably being out of here. And if you're starting to hear it, well, there may be some truth to that. So, that's all what we've been clamoring for, because if you do bring a new GM in, well, now he truly can do his job without someone, telling Arthur, like, hey, man, I don't think that was a good move. I wouldn't do that. I'm just letting you know, man, that's not what I would do. Well, you know what, Rich McKay, what you did do got you fired when you were the GM of the Falcons. That's all.
Yeah, man. Oh, hey, look, very valid. It's tough, man, but we got a quick donation here from our guy, Brendan. What's going on, man? Hey, listen, man, no worries on you ever being late, brother. You're day one, man. We definitely appreciate you. Thank you for the $5 donation. He says, we need to tell Raheem it's time to put up the fries in the bag we got them shirts. I'll be bringing those up towards the end of the show. Brendan got some fire anime crossover NFL anime shirts that I got to show you guys. I wasn't able to show it in the beginning of the stream, but I will towards the end. So hopefully you guys can put eyes on the product. He does have some fire clothing wear coming up. But yeah, man. Yeah, we need to look for stability. We need to look at, teams that are doing good right now. The Philadelphia Eagles, they seem to have a solid front office, very sound front office as well. So there's going to be a handful of candidates. There's going to be a lot of them out there. Now, as far as the coaching aspect of it, I know this is where you get into your creative bag and you research so well the potentials that are out there. There's a lot of names, that are out there. But one question, right? And I think it's a question that may not be catching fire right now, but it will as the season progresses. How desirable is the Atlanta Falcons job for any potential head coach coming up?
So you got to look at it in the aspect of like, okay, what do the core pieces look like? In this past draft, you got 4 core pieces on the defense. And overall, you have really good core pieces on the defensive side. Like your defensive front is really well set, right? You need to add some depth because a lot of the guys are going to be free agents, the older guys. But overall, you have a good young core. You still have Diablo under contract. Caden Ellis is going to be up for a contract. If you want to re-sign him in, he'll be 31, right? And said he hates hearing for that from the where there's smoke, there's fire, right? I think I saw someone
absolutely
say that. So you got to look at that, right? AJ Terrell still a really solid corner. You have Mike Hughes under contract, very cheap contract for a solid cornerback too. So like, okay, you look at it and be like, okay, defense, like I like what I see, right? I just got to add some pieces with the GM. Offensively, that's where it needs work, right? Really and truly, your 2 big pieces you have are Drake London and Bijan Robinson, right? Best running back in the league and a top 5 wide receiver in the league, right? So you look at that, you hang your hat on that, right? Is Kyle Pitts going to come back? Probably not.
No,
The offensive line, it needs to be revamped, right? We like our people. We like what Bergeron does. Is he the best? No, but he does good things. Jake Matthews, he's getting up. The Iron Man's getting up there in age. He did sign an extension, so I wouldn't expect him to hang it up just yet.
Right.
How's Caleb McGarry going to come back after that knee injury? Chris Lindstrom is probably the only offensive lineman you're looking at and saying, yeah, I want to hang on to him. And then you need to upgrade at the center position. So if you bring in an offensive-minded head coach, you're saying like this is my canvas and I essentially have the rights to do what I want to do, right? That includes the quarterback position. And I already have 2 big pieces at the skill position and one, all pro offensive lineman. So, and then you're going to have Arthur Blank's going to have to give grace.
Yeah.
2026. Hey, brother, if you exceed expectations, phenomenal. But I'm really not going to hold you accountable for what happens on 2026. That's your year to establish what you want this identity to be for the team and how you want things to roll. And then 2027, that's really where you need to kick things up.
Yeah. Okay. So let me, before I get to that question again, Craig, what's going on, man? Appreciate the donation, man. $5 bid for my guy here. He says, if the Packers are stupid enough to fire Matt LaFleur, then the Falcons fire Rod the next day and overpay for him. I mean, we all know Matt LaFleur should have stuck around with the Falcons longer than he did, obviously. But he was
one of Dan Quinn's biggest fumbles.
Yep, one of Dan Quinn's biggest fumble was not promoting him after, Kyle Shanahan left. That should have been our OC going forward, not Steve Sarkisian or anybody else that was brought in after that. But yeah, man, if they are dumb enough to let him go, I know that this is a hot rumor going right now. I think it was 680 The Fan that broke some news about this from Atlanta. I think you tweeted about it. You heard it here first. You were one of the first ones to call this Matt LaFleur situation to Atlanta. And then, the radio station got involved in it and saying that they're hearing whatever rumblings they're hearing that Matt LaFleur is in hot waters in Green Bay. Sure, if he's let go, bring him on in. He brings a solid foundation offensively. I think he can maximize the potential of what we have currently on here now. He knows how to work with a shaky offensive line. We've seen Jordan Love behind so not so great offensive line, but they have retooled, right? And obviously with free agency, money will expand, especially after we get rid of that Kirk Cousins contract. There will be some guys out on the street that we can bring in, plug and play. And if Matt LaFleur is the said guy to be the head coach, then I think he'll make it work for sure. But any other coaches you have in mind other than Matt LaFleur, like the day balls are floating out there. Mike McCarthy's flowing out there. The very popular Clay Kubiak, excuse me, he's flying out there. What is your take? What do you feel is the right fit for the current talent that we have now on this Falcons team?
The right fit? I mean, it would be LaFleur, honestly, because he would, hey, let me hire a good defensive coordinator. I need you to really lock in these young core players and let me fix the offensive line. But as far as anyone else, right? Clint Kubiak's the hot name. I don't think he comes here. I think he's headed to New York, personally. New York saw good things from Jackson Dart, Cam Scatabo. The offensive line's getting retooled, and they have a pretty good, solid defense. Brian Dable intrigues me because he's a no BS type coach, and he'll kind of kick you in the rear end when you need it, but he also connects with the players on a personal level. Like he gets the best out of them. And I think he was just kind of, I wouldn't say dealt a bad hand because he kind of helped build that roster that he had, but he's got experience winning, right? His first year, he went to the playoffs with Daniel Jones of all people, right? On the back of Saquon Barkley before he departed. This coaching cycle is not great.
It's not. It really isn't.
Great. So then that's why I have had reservations. Is like, do they actually fire Raheem? I think they should. I think Raheem has just proven that he really wasn't ready for this, right? Maybe mentally he was, but what's translating onto the field is not what he's been trying to say he can do or whatever the case may be, but it's not great, right? So you're gonna have to sell someone on, like, if it is Brian Dable, hey Brian, you got plenty of time to work here, right? We're not expecting these things. We know we're going to have to bring in a quarterback to bridge, and then we can talk about the future after that. Joe Brady is a young up and coming OC. My problem with Joe is sometimes he gets cute with his play calling, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Does he have the same results if he doesn't have the Josh Allen, right?
That's a good question.
I don't know, right?
You don't know.
But Cliff Kingsbury's name's thrown around, right? You have options, right? But just know that this coaching cycle here is not great. So if we hire some guy and he doesn't do great and someone else comes better, don't kind of like Gerard Mayo's situation. It's like,
oh my God, yeah.
Hey, we're gonna go a different direction. Hey, Mike, you want the job? Okay,
it's all yours. Absolutely, man. Oh man, our brother Bones here with a great question. He goes, who is the lesser known head coaching candidate you guys think could happen? Like really obscure. Let me go first. Defensive minded, unfortunately, from that Rams organization, Chris Shula.
Yeah. I think people are tarnished because of Zach Robinson.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's probably the most obscure name that you can really think of right now is Chris Shula, maybe Vance Joseph. I mean, he's doing great things with the Broncos, but his coaching record was pretty abysmal. His first stint around.
Brian Flores, his name is pretty floating around.
Yep, and that's the other thing, right, bro? Like, does the next coach have to be offensive or does it have to be defensive? Right? You tip the scale more towards the offense, I would imagine. You got to go that route now, especially how the league is moving.
Right? How's it gone? Right? Raheem defensive.
Yep.
Arthur Smith offensive.
Yep.
Dan Quinn defensive. Who was before him? Mike Smith.
Mike Smith defense.
Mike Smith defense. Right.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, okay, maybe we should go offensive head coach. Who else? That Jaguars defensive coordinator could be someone. I can't remember his name. That's someone. Okay. He flipped that defense around.
He did.
And he's kind of, I've watched him when they release clips, and he's a no BS type guy. So he could be someone, No one really on the Eagles, unless Vic
No.
Fangio wants to be a head coach, but I don't think so. I think he likes what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's from that area. Man, it's hard to say, right? Oh, the Cardinals defensive coordinator. He's an up and coming young coach that could be someone that does it. Rex.
Oh man.
Rex who?
Rex Ryan. I'm thinking
Get the.
I don't know, man.
No. If you want to bring an older coach that hasn't coached this year, get someone like Mike McCarthy or get someone like Doug Peterson, right? Guys that have only been out of the league for a year. Not for a year. How long has Rex Ryan been out of the league? Like 10 years?
Yeah, wow, shit.
I'd even take John Gruden over Rex Ryan, personally. Adam, what does Bone say? Adam, who's that? I don't know this name. Hold on.
Stanovich.
Hold on. First thing that pops up on Google, Adam Stanovich arrested.
What?
He is the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. So he's the understudy of LaFleur.
Yep. Maybe.
What about Rivera?
Oh,
no. Tell the people your guy. Tell the people your guy.
Well, it would have been this guy here. I had the names mixed up, but yes, John Fox would have been a name for me as a Carolina coach. But it was Rivera who guided that Panthers team in 2015 that has such a correlation to this Falcons team now. When you think about the quarterback with Michael Penix, sure, you can just compare it because it's the position. Obviously, Cam Newton, is what Cam Newton is, right? But what the hell did River Ron do was mold and develop Cam Newton. And that offense did look a lot like what the hell the Falcons have on tab right now.
It's someone else we talked about it, Kevin Stefanski.
That's a name.
If Stefanski comes, he might bring Jim Schwartz over with him. Imagine Jim Schwartz. Now he wouldn't have Myles Garrett, right?
Sure.
Right? But overall, we got some good, talented, young talent, right?
We
do. Could work with.
We certainly do. Another donation by a guy, Brendan here, man. Thank you so much for being so gracious this evening, man. With the $2 bid, he says, next coach needs to be accountable and no bullshit, no BS, ladies and gentlemen, which is true. You got to hold, players accountable in their roles, right? I don't think it's done enough here now as it is with Raheem. He's too relaxed, in my opinion. He's too loosey-goosey with the players, man. Yeah, we definitely need a guy that's no nonsense and just doesn't tolerate BS. Gruden is a name. Gruden is a name that's being connected to the Falcons. How true it is, I don't know, man.
I like Gruden to an extent, right? He's a no BS guy. He knows offensive football, right? He grew up. He was molded through the what was his name? Holmgren tree with Mariucci, Reed.
Yeah,
they were all a part of that Packers staff, so he understands offenses. Where it's like you could see yourself winning some games with him, but it's gonna be I can't believe we're here already 2 years later.
I know, this is crazy, man.
It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting.
It's definitely T Terry, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining the stream. He says Bird of the Sound Bug is Todd Monken, the Ravens OC and the Georgia Bulldog most famous quarterback, the mailman until MPJ gets back.
Don't listen to whatever. Like, don't listen. You don't have to take everything they say on the radio, like as the thing. Just like you don't have to like what we say. You don't have to be like, yeah, those guys don't know what to talk about.
Right.
Listen to me when I tell you this. Todd Monken in the NFL is a Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry merchant. Okay,
goes as far as they go.
Exactly, because if you look when they reach the playoffs, that's where all eyes are on them, right? Because they're in the playoffs. The play calling, the flow of it, and the decision making is always suspect. Does Lamar make mistakes? Yes, he does. But at the same time, there are certain situations that happen. It's like, why did you call that play? Why did you call that play? You had them going this way, but then you called it that way. Lamar Jackson Doesn't matter who his OC is, makes that offense go. Just like Josh Allen, unless you're Ken Dorsey and you bring everybody down. But I digress. It's like Joe Brady. Like we just said, does Joe Brady have the same, skill set without a Josh Allen?
Oh man.
Oh,
God.
God.
No, my God.
Oh, God.
He came back for a second sting.
This is why you do not bring in Todd Monken. Keep Dirk Cutter away from this franchise. He should have never came back the second time. Oh, my gosh. When he came back, I was so pissed.
Anyway. Man, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. It's crazy. Like Bro Talk just said, can't believe we're having these discussions, but it's a real thing right now, Falcon fans. And we're so sorry to be the bearer of bad news in that regard, man. It's just everything has gone to shit, man. We're going to definitely just switch dials, man. We're 40 minutes in and it's been a spirited conversation. Great, vibes from the chat. Great speech like always. Great talk like always, man. The Carolina Panther game. The good, the bad, the ugly, if you want to call it that, man. Damn. The offensive flow in the first half was fantastic.
Oh, my gosh.
It was great. You know what I mean? I think we saw some power, right?
It was ugly.
It was ugly, but it happened, right?
Yeah, well, the reason it happened, I'll tell you why, is because number 7 is
Please
generational.
There it is. Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So if we're thinking about the same play, is it where he improvised and bounced it out? Okay.
Brother, I saw that and I was like, we pulled a guard. And even me and Big Low at halftime were like, did you see that? Like, we got all excited. And then you see the all 22 and you're like, what the hell are they telling these guys? Like, if it wasn't for 7, like, no, that wouldn't have happened. Like, there were plays where they blocked really well in the run game. Like, they were. But then there were some plays where it's like, guys, what the hell are we doing, guys? Why are you stepping that way? Why are your hands here? Why? Like, so many questions. And then it's like, Dwayne, what are you telling these guys? Like, brother.
Yeah. True, man.
It's like,
I mean, I have reservations about Elijah Wilkinson as it is. I don't think that's the tackle you want in a pulling situation or in a power situation.
Well, it was Kyle Hinton that pulled.
It was Kyle Hinton. I'm sorry, Kyle Hinton is what I meant to say. Like, that's exactly what I would, but I would have preferred maybe like a Chris Lindstrom or something like that. So a dog that would get after it, not Kyle Hinton. Anyways, man, our friend Kerry here, who's always optimistic about our Falcons, man, we've been relegated to tears, man, these past couple of days. She's third time's a charm. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. Laughing to keep him crying because my goodness, we would bring back Dirk Cutter. I mean, why wouldn't we? Oh,
it'd be such a Falcons thing.
Exactly. Going back to the X, bro. That's
be such a Falcon. Like, we can't, like, it didn't work out for a reason, but let's go back. Like, you broke up with your ex for a reason, but you want to go back?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah. But like you were saying in the first half, dude, there was like that stadium was rocking. Like, seeing Michael hit Drake over the middle twice.
Yes.
Twice in that second drive. And it was like after that first 3 and out, like the offense couldn't be stopped. We put up 21 points in the first half, and you're like, okay, like, even if we don't replicate that, but we put 10, 14 points, 17 points, like, you're going to win. You're going to be able to outpace
2 year
with with what the Panthers had. And it's just like, it was just a tale of two halves. And, and I joke because I wasn't in my seat to start the second half. I was coming back from meeting Big Low and all of them. And it was like, but it didn't even matter, bro. It didn't matter because it's like the Panthers made adjustments and we didn't. Yeah,
here we go with the adjustments. Bijan Robinson in the first half, 16 carries, 96 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The second half, 7 carries for 8 yards.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy, man.
Now, I will say there were some drops.
Sure. Okay? Yes.
There were some big plays called back, right? But that goes to coaching, right?
Sure does.
Drops happen. But when they happen more than once, that's a problem, right? Everybody likes to say, well, you fired Ike Hilliard. Shouldn't have you gotten better? You did for a minute, and then you went back. So it's like, okay, TJ Yates, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Right.
And then
the most overwhelmed coach in all of football, by the way.
Bro, get TJ Yates out of here, bro. Like, he has nothing to me to the team, in my opinion. He shouldn't even didn't he survive Arthur Smith?
Yes.
So that was another problem with Raheem. Is like, I'm gonna keep these guys to keep the continuity. No, Raheem, you should have gotten rid of them. You should have gotten rid of them. Zach, start from scratch. Who knows where we would have been? Maybe the pistol would have actually worked. And all these, maybe we wouldn't be so wide zone heavy, right?
Yeah. It's true.
I digress.
I hear you, brother. It's painful to even talk about, man. But yeah, man, Falcons unfortunately lost that. And it's in the worst way possible. Can't hold on to a lead, and we just kind of choked the game away. And
went back to their old Falcons way because the defense was on the field way too much. The offense couldn't sustain a drive and churn clock. It was like we had them in third down and fourth down multiple times, but then it was like simple mistakes. Panthers took advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Panthers were 9 of 17 on third down on Sunday.
Bro, that's over 50%. That's bad.
That's definitely bad, and that's because third and favorable spots. It's been the Achilles heel for the Falcons all year, but there is a little bit of light to shine, a little bit of positivity that did come out. The Falcons did eclipse more sacks this year than all of last year, being second in the NFL, 34 sacks last year, 31. So the pass rush is fixed, right?
No.
we got contributions from James Pierce, Jalen Walker, Billy Bowman and company. These guys did come to play. The Falcons still proving they can get after it. Even though all is withering away, but the Falcons still showing that they can blitz at a high rate and get after it. But go ahead, buddy.
Well, yes, the sack numbers are up, but the Falcons are blitzing at an all-time high. It's because, and I will say, brother, the reason certain things happened on third and fourth down is because Ulbrich decided to play coverage instead of pressure. And I think that ended up biting him in the butt because on that last touchdown to T-Mac.
Oh, God. Caden Ellis was in coverage, man.
It just happened to be the call, right? Canales lined up McMillan in the slot, and he got the matchup. But the problem wasn't a double move by design. It was just a little flat arrow route, right? That's all it was.
That's all it was.
And then McMillan saw that Bryce was still looking, so he turned the route up. That's what happened. And we only rushed 3. We dropped Brandon Dorless as a kind of like not a spy, but just a rat zone. And Bryce had all day. Like the right side where the field side that he was looking towards was very well covered. But the moment he broke the pocket and T-Mac went up the field and Caden was covering him, that was a wrap, dude. Like no linebacker can, unless you're maybe Fred Warner can do it, but no one else can. Like that was a wrap. That was a bad call by Ulbrich.
Man.
And then again, that makes me question: is Ulbrich really the guy? Is Ulbrich really the guy? Again, I'm going to tell you on the first touchdown, the T-Mac. Okay, you're in zone, right? You're 12 yards, 11 yards away from the end zone. AJ's on T-Mac. They send Jimmy Horn across the formation. He goes
baited him.
So AJ has to bump out.
Yep.
Jesse Bates is in the end zone, and T-Mac has a choice route. What do you think he's going to do?
Oh, he's going to just cut it right in, man.
He's going to turn.
That's it.
And show his hands. And it was an RPO. So what did Ronnie Harrison do? He bit in. He bit, which created a void. So why are we giving that cushion in the red area?
I don't understand that either.
Schematics and that's coaching. Right?
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Bump out your corner. Who's making the adjustment to cover that area? Because if there was someone there, who knows what happens on that play? So that's why I start to question: is Ulbrich still the guy? Because we get excited. It's like, oh, sacks, yes. Which we want to get absolutely for sacks, but we're not getting there with just 4.
Nah, we're paying the price in other ways, on the defense with that, man, because it leads to mental errors and liabilities in zones, right? And that's kind of been what's stuck to the Falcons all this time.
Let me tell you this: Leggett doesn't know how to separate. Leggett is a mid receiver at best. T-Mac knows how to separate. T-Mac is a good wide receiver, right? I hate that he went to Carolina because I actually liked him coming out of Arizona. Okay, Xavier Leggett, mid. You know that fourth down where he caught it and Xavier Watts nearly tipped it?
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
His guy that was supposed to be man coverage on him was on the other side. Like he was like, oh, my guy's over there. That's number 35, Mr. Brooks, who's getting kicked on all game.
God, man. Which leads to maybe a glimpse into the future with Kobe Bryant, coming onto the field, only plays 6 snaps.
Oh,
but damn it, man, it was a spirited 6 snaps that Kobe played.
He brought energy.
He brought energy on that opposite side of AJ, man. And on that run play, he let it all out on that play right there, man. Hopefully, this next week we might get Mike Hughes back. We don't know, but definitely we need to pull the plug on the Natron Brooks situation. Once a preseason darling has kind of like withered away now, he's relegated. He should stay with not even at that because he fumbled the goddamn ball on special teams.
I was walking down the steps back to my seat, and I was like, what the hell happened? I was like, did they onside kick it? They didn't announce it. And then my wife's like, no, the returner fumbled. They thought it was Agnew at first, and then I found out it was Brooks.
Yeah, get his ass out of here too, dude. He offers nothing.
Hold on. It's not Agnew's fault.
No, the whole system itself on special teams.
What Marquise Williams is teaching him.
Yeah,
40 can't block. Charlie Warner gets blocked or gets messed up. Teagan doesn't know how to block. Like it's bad. It's bad in all 3 phases.
I've been trying to tell you from the beginning, sir.
No, this man is Superman, and I'm Batman. Okay,
man, hell no, bro. I love it, man. Appreciate your support, T. Terry. Oh man, so obviously we got to switch dials and talk about rivalry week, hate week, as we all know. The Aints, we go down there. We have to play the Aints, man. We definitely do. What kind of Falcons team will show up? This is a Falcons defense that welcomes back Divine Diablo, the devil himself, coming back to the middle of this Falcons defense. Are we going to get some of the inspired play that this defense showed around that Buffalo Bills game, in a game that I feel as a Falcons team, we fucking peaked. I'll say that until I'm blue in the face. We peaked in that game. Yeah. That was it. That was the best showing both offensively and defensively for the year. That was it right there. So we get Divine Diablo back. He's going to be cast up. But will it make a difference, in your opinion? Are we going to do enough to slow down Tyler Shook and company? Because this is a Tyler Shook that did have this Saints offense playing a little bit better, and obviously coming off a bye, they are, a whole lot more. They're going to be a whole lot more ready and prepared for this Falcons team. This is an emotional Falcons team at that, because losing Michael Penix, losing Drake London, who will not be at the game on Sunday. What are your thoughts, right quick, with getting back Diablo, man?
I mean, he provides a boost, right? I like what Ronnie Harrison was doing in the meantime, but Diablo is just a different animal. Going to have the club on his forearm, like we had mentioned that he could have done after San Francisco, but they decided they had depth with number 40, Mr. Bobblehead, and that bit him in the butt when Diablo went to IR. I think the defense will be fine. I think they'll give problems to Shuck. Kelvin Banks is playing well. Fuaga plays well. The interior of their their offensive line isn't great. They just released Brandon Cooks, so really all they have is Chris Olave, right?
Juwan Johnson too.
And Juwan Johnson, right?
Yeah.
But I think defensively we can hold up. It's the offense where it's like I'm not expecting a win. I'm gonna be watching so I can criticize, but
absolutely,
I don't think we win.
Lisa said, "I'm just going to Stinky Town to eat. No expectations with Kirk Cousins under center."
Hold on. He thinks she said under center.
Brother, the first snap when he came in right under center, I'm like, what?
I tweeted out, I was like, Zach Robinson's got to be dead ass trolling right now, because
he has
60% of his snaps were under center. Like, you're telling me you haven't been working on that with Mike? You're telling me that? So who's the problem, right? It's you.
The common denominator, Coach Zach Robinson himself, man. That's crazy, brother.
It's hate week, but I don't feel confident at all. I have no confidence going into this game. You know, Tyler Shuck showed some life, right? He showed that
he can make some plays in that pocket. He's a good improviser.
Right.
He extended plays.
And even though Kamara's washed,
he looked good against the Panthers.
Don't be surprised. And then you want a Chase Young that actually playing pretty good, Carl Granderson, right?
Brian
Justin
Brees in the middle.
Reed's talking his mess. Like, I think it's a low-scoring game, but I don't think we win.
I hate to say that too, man.
I hate to say that they're going to beat us, but I think they will. And you know what? If they run up the score on us, that might be the end of Raheem.
Honestly, dude, I thought the end of Raheem should have came on Sunday because of the fashion that we lost the game in, man.
Yeah, you blow a lead, but it was close, right? So you have that argument. But if you get blown out to your hated rival on the road, knowing dang well that you're fighting for your job, no, there's no reason to keep going.
No, man. No, man. Shit, man. Do we even get into the score prediction and X factors as we're closing the show?
Well, X factors for me. Yeah, we can. I'll do X factors. X factor is going to be Diablo, right? In the passing game, in the run game, right? Stuffing those runs, run fitting, and then just reading the quarterback's eyes and jumping the stuff as he sees fit. And then offensively, it's going to have to be Sir Mooney. You're up to the plate, buddy. You're wide receiver 1 this week. You gotta take on the workload, right? And as far as I'll give you my score prediction, it's going to be 14-10, New Orleans. New Orleans.
14-10. That's a brave one. That's brave. Oh my God, look at that 31-10. Sheesh, man.
It's really sad we're at this point.
We definitely are, man. So my X factor for defense, Jalen Walker, man. Jalen Walker and the Banks. That's going to be a nice little battle. Those two revisit a college rivalry. You shouldn't say rivalry. It's more because of the bowl game. Get out of here. Come on, CJ. Come on, CJ. Yo. Congratulations to y'all, by the way, man. Oh, man. But yeah, it's going to be Jalen Walker for me. He's throwing up the white flag, brother. He's throwing the white flag, man. Oh, man. But yeah, Jalen Walker is for me on the defensive side for the Falcons. Jalen Walker has woken up, man. And will he wake up again on Sunday versus Calvin Banks, who he's owned in his time with Georgia and playing against with Texas? So Jalen Walker for me. Offensively, I don't even know where to go, man. I mean, do we even fucking say it's Kirk Cousins? That's the X factor going into this game. I think I'm gonna go with Kirk. See how how far Kirk can take this train of the Falcons, man. That's running out of steam faster than you can say hi, man. So Kirk Cousins, X factor for me. And can he deliver? Doubt it. And Jalen Walker for me on defense. Score prediction wise, man. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, man. But I'll go 21-17 Falcons.
Okay.
On the road, baby. On the road.
Does Kirk get his get back after getting hurt last year?
Exactly. Oh, hold on. Hey, bro, the man, you damn right. Brother will never hear the end of it on the NFC South roundtable if that happens. Oh, my God. So, I was criticized for coming up with excuses on why the Falcons are what they are, right? But I just can't. You help me decide this one, right? So if something is not working, what do you blame it on, right? It's not necessarily who do you blame it. It's who you call. Who do you call out? In this regard, yeah, the Falcons are struggling as a team, so you can say it's coaching. It's not an excuse. It's a fucking fact. Zach Robinson.
How is that an excuse? Like, people that say that when you're just pointing
drives
out,
me nuts.
Yeah, it's like we're not making excuses. We're pointing out the fact that the coaching staff has done a terrible job with this team.
It was TJ. You guys come up with excuse after excuse after excuse. Brother, how is that an excuse?
Hold on. You want to talk about excuses? You keep complaining about Mickey Loomis. So who's making the excuses? Oh,
exactly.
Mickey Loomis is not ready to be a GM. Nah, brother. You're talking about excuses right here.
Exactly.
Come on, man. You see how ludicrous that sounds?
It is, and so it's like, listen, how is it? How is excusing? How is an excuse when you're pointing out the defect that is the Falcons coaching staff right now in Zach Robinson and everything that we've done thus far to really kind of, but not really, but like fail Michael Penix in his progression as a quarterback. It's not there. We're not meeting the expectation that is Michael Penix and vice versa because it's the wrong staff to have around Michael Penix Jr. I went on about it yesterday, but TJ kept calling out, "Oh, you're just making excuses." It's not fucking excuses. I'm not saying we lost the game because of
because
an
of
incomplete pass or
referees,
referee
or
or
they
blown
got away
ball.
with one or something like that.
No,
That's so
no,
dumb.
man. No, man.
God,
But yes, you can find all of that every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on the NFC South Roundtable. But man, we've come and we've hit the hour mark, man. We peaked at 600, man. We certainly appreciate everybody that came through this evening to support us as you guys always do on a Wednesday, 9 p.m. Twisted Tea. Wow.
drinking
Okay.
sorrows.
It's drinking away your sorrow. He says 35-14 Atlanta with 6 sacks.
Wow, that'd be
Imagine that.
crazy.
I
I
mean,
mean, I would
6
be
sacks.
happy. I would be happy.
I mean, 6 sacks. Hey, listen, it's doable. You know, we've 13 sacks the last 2 games prior to the Panthers game. It's doable. It's doable. But bro, talk, man. Let the fans know where they can find you, man. You and your great content, brother.
As always, guys, short form
Batman.
content. What?
Batman.
Short form content. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you get it. No, not at that one. At Dirty Bird Central. Long form content has been paused this season. It's been personal life's been it's been busy. Let's just say. So short form's all you guys are getting this season. But just know that I try and it's been mainly Falcons, but I try to do NFL as a whole. But daily tweets at BK2 on the Bird app. It is still the Bird app because we call it tweets.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, King, man. Appreciate you, man. You've been a supporter, and we definitely appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for always coming through and showing love and support, man. He says free money. Rock on, brother. We appreciate that, man. But yes, man, this mug here you can find on the 95 North Falcons Talk Show and your other hosts or co-hosts on Reporting Eligible Live, which comes at you live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also find me on Bleacher Report, post-game analysis and breakdowns. Whether the game goes good or bad, I got to show the mug and explain the do's and don'ts of the Falcons, win or loss, on Bleacher Report every Sunday or primetime game, post-game reaction show. Short form content comes at you in that direction too, Monday through Thursday. And on Tuesdays, you can find me on the NFC South Roundtable, myself and the other. I'll just pause it and just say others. It's a lively conversation. I had a JD Bertan moment there. Don't you worry about it. But until then, man, listen, we'll give you your Wednesday evening back. Please come back and join us next Wednesday. I'm sure we'll be as candid as we were tonight, and we'll see where we are as far as the Falcons game on Sunday. But until then, he's Bro Talk. I'm your boy Berto. We'll give you your Wednesday evening back. Peace, everybody. He's waving.